Hey guys, Jeremy here at True Motion. For today's video tutorial, we're going to be going over knee pain. We're going to be going over myofascial release technique and a mobility drill. Now it's crucial to understand that most people that are listing knee pain tend to have overactive quadriceps. This really stems from dysfunctional movement patterns. More often than not, it tends to stem from really just sitting down. We live very sedentary lifestyles, and when it comes to our locomotion, we're really not dealing with the influences from environmental trauma. So really, what does that mean? It means that we're sitting down too much. These glutes, these powerhouse structures that are supposed to drive the majority of our movement are now shut off, and now we have other complexes and systems that have to facilitate that. So what we end up having is overactive muscles compared to underactive, shortened versus lengthened. And really, in this case, what we're going to be talking about are the quadriceps, specifically the rectus femoris, and how overactive and tight it can get. So we are going to be going through the myofascial release technique to help alleviate any of that tightness, help lubricate and drive some more lubrication back into that tissue. And then we're going to be going over a mobility drill. Now this is crucial to understand because it's not enough to just disengage some of that overactivity. We need to start firing up the more functional and efficient systems. Okay, so the first sequence of this is the myofascial release. What I have here is a PVC pipe and a foam roller. Not very expensive or elegant tools, but highly effective. So what's first important to understand is that I need to compress some of that tissue to drive some of that lubrication back into this rectus femoris. Okay, we are specifically focusing on that muscle that attaches from the hip down into the knee. So I'm going to start high on the pelvis and then slowly start to work my way down. Okay, from here, I'll set the PVC pipe down, position myself so that I'm resting right on top of it. Okay, I'm going to open up my opposite leg, and I'll find some of those hot spots. Quite often when it comes to the myofascial release or foam rolling, people have a tendency to just roll up and down. Okay, find those hot spots, okay, finding those points, those trigger points of tension, and just wait. One of the reasons why I like the PVC pipe is because it allows you to relax more. Your fascial networks are integrated with your nervous system. If you can relax more, your fascia will not have such a tendency to seize up and retain that tightness, that tension over time. Okay, from here I can relax. If I have a foam roller, and again, something is better than nothing in this scenario. However, if I have a foam roller, and a lot of times they have these at gyms, right? You can use these foam rollers and try and do the same thing. However, I have to lift myself up and hold and really I'm utilizing energy. I'm expending energy here, and that's not always the most conducive to help us relax. Okay? Breath is also another key component here. Exhaling, not seizing up, pressurizing. And a lot of times this can be sensitive for a lot of individuals. You may have to work your way up to the PVC pipe. Be wary of what kind of flooring you're on. Clearly a carpet's going to feel a little less invasive. Okay. And how long are we doing this for? 2 to 5 minutes might be a general recommendation. Sometimes you can spend 10, 15 minutes. Don't be so caught up in trying to get instant results. Clearly we are a people of instant gratification, but at the end of the day, some things take some due diligence and we need to take our time. Okay, so myofascial release first. And this is going to be most influential in people that are suffering from knee pain. Again, overactive quadriceps, very tight quadriceps. If you suffer from knee pain, give this technique a go. Spend the diligent amount of time, and then from there, stand up, walk around, see if it feels a little bit better. Okay? Now, the thing about it is that the brain trumps all. So when it comes to, let's say, this neural drive that I need, understand that your movement, the reason why your knee is hurting in the first place is most likely the case because you move dysfunctionally. You have muscles that are underactive, and now you have other muscles that have to compensate by doing their job. So what we need to do is implement exercises that help the brain establish more effective and sustainable movement patterns. Okay, so the first mobility exercise, or let's say just a corrective exercise that we want to go through, is just an isometric activation of the glute. So from here, I'm just going to take a knee, making sure that I'm finding that 90-degree angle at the hip and the knee. Okay, and from here, I'm slowly but surely going to start eliciting a pull off of my front heel. Maybe even combining that with a little bit of an active, conscious squeezing of the glute. Okay, this just opens the gateway to help that brain potentiate these fibers here in the glute. A lot of us suffer from gluteal amnesia because we're sitting down all day long. Okay, we need to start rebuilding that connection. And this is just a great exercise to open up that door. Okay, now let's go to the opposite side. So I'm going to switch legs. Now when I say opposite side, I don't mean the opposite foot. I actually mean working the hip now. Okay, I'm going to work on trying to establish this reflexive tension, okay, regain some loaded elasticity in the front of my hip here by working this posterior tilt and this tailbone tuck off of my downed knee side. Okay? Many of us, we float our hips forward with a lot of our movement, but that's not facilitated from our glute. It's done from our lumbar. Okay? Kettlebell swings, straight leg deadlifts, squats, all day long I'm seeing people compress this thoracolumbar fascia. Okay, what we need to work on doing is posteriorly tilting, activating this gluteal fiber. Make sure when you start this, your knee is underneath your hip, okay, not behind it. Okay? You're going to lose some of that range of motion when you try activating this. It's going to be a lot of lumbar, okay? And you really run the risk of straining some of these connective tissues down by the knee. Okay? So work this posterior tilt. See if you can tailbone tuck hard enough to get some tension and elasticity, elastic tension off of the front of the hip. Alright guys, really hope you enjoyed this video. There's going to be a lot more to come. Be sure to like our page and subscribe to our channel to make sure that you're staying up to date with some of our newest content. Always appreciate the likes, always appreciate the shares. This is Jaron Baruman at True Motion. Thank you very much.